everyone. Thank you for attending the presentation of Passivhaus building. My name is Nia Nadia. I'm one of the project designer of the house. One of our colleagues, Anthony DiMase, and the clients will also be presenting via the video later on. The initial concept of this building is actually to design a building that match the most of the park next to it, staging the occupants of the building in the directions of the natural environment of the landscape. This was achieved in part by spatial layout and by the horizontal design of the building, stretching it to the adjoining landscape. We consider Passivhaus as a prototype building, a sustainable and cost-effective house design for a line located next to the many parks and green wedges in Melbourne.
Oh, we're looking at the view. I mean, the view is just spectacular. And it's the trees, the park, people walking through. It just must be enjoyable on a day-to-day basis.
It is. It's relaxing, and I like the way the design sort of fits with the park.
Yeah. We should remember that this was actually a quarry at one stage.
The original house that was here was a soldier settlement cottage that was built right on the edge of the quarry. But it didn't all fit together, and energy was a big problem. We really wanted a house that was energy efficient, that we didn't add to the greenhouse problems.
So the finishes and materials to the house is a direct response to the park next to it. It's connecting the building to its surrounds. We chose Acacia timber for the first floor cladding because it has a low carbon footprint. Also, it's very durable, making it reliable and sustainable choice. We also able to choose the finishes to match the existing gum trees in the park. For the ground floor, we chose cross bricks because also, again, it has a low carbon footprint, and also the brick has a lovely texture and the range of color, and we able to choose the color that is actually mimicking or echoes the colors of the natural park, the park soil. And the other important choice that we made, we actually chose to use the triple glaze window, and also these timber windows sources from the FSC certified forest, and they are finished using low VOC paint, which is reducing emissions in the house and also creating a better internal environment for the health and well-being of the occupants or the client.
The house is designed using Passivhaus principles. Passivhaus is a standard of building which essentially aims to limit the amount of energy that's required to heat and cool a dwelling. We have very, very good insulation, really good quality windows. So in this building we use triple glazed windows which are really well sealed. By using these features, the house requires very minimal external heating and cooling to maintain a comfortable level inside. The building has been certified as a low energy building by the Passivhaus Institute, and that's a real achievement for us for this particular project.
So as I mentioned before, the concept of the design was to maximize the client's connection to the natural environment of the park. So we did this by flipping the plan and locating the communal space on the upper floor. The upstairs living, dining, kitchens provide a comfortable and functional space for friends and family to gather and make the most of their beautiful park landscape. While the ground floor includes the car park entrance, laundry, bathroom, and bedrooms, these private areas are secluded from the park and providing comfort and privacy to the family. This also allows us to fulfill one of the client brief, which is to have private access to the private garden via their bedroom. Sorry. We work closely with a structural engineer and also with a Passivhaus designer that were assisted by Claire Perry, one of the Passivhaus certified, to achieve a low energy building. As we can see, the building is tightly wrapped and insulated. This allows the house to stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter using minimum energy. And we use passive solar design principles such as orientation and setting to maximize the use of natural light and heat.
The house has been lived in now for over 12 months, and Malcolm, the client, has taken a lot of data about how the house has been performed, and it's working really well.
Hi, Malcolm.
Anthony, how are you?
Very well.
Well, you've been here now for 12 months and seen the full cycle of how the house has performed. We put a lot of work in, as you know, and we learnt a lot through the course of the journey. There was a lot of discussions about air tightness, trying to imagine where leaks could exist, and the insulation, thermal breaks, all these things. That was it worth it?
Well, I think yes, it has been. I think there are some ways in which it's intangible and intellectual in the sense that we consume less energy. That's an ideal, an ethical requirement, but perhaps not something that you notice on your day-to-day living. The things you do notice, though, is that it's a very quiet house because you shut the doors and the ambient environment doesn't come in. The air quality is good with the exchange system. That makes a big difference. You do probably need to be a little bit more attentive to driving it. You know, last night was a pleasant night. You open it up as the day dies. But overall, it's a comfortable house to live in for that reason, both because of the protection against heat and cold, and that it does it passively. And you shut the door and you don't hear the birds. You go and sit outside and they're everywhere and boisterous and noisy, and so it's not that it's onerous, but you do actually want to get outside to both enjoy its outside as well as its inside.
I imagine when the parties are going on, you're quite grateful that it is quiet.
Well, that's right. We have noticed a couple when we step. Oh, that's quite nice. Didn't realise that party was on.
Anything that surprised you really about the house, living in the house, that you couldn't exactly envisage?
Well, not really, because I think as the house developed, we sort of grew with it. So
in terms of the design
well,
process?
in the design process, there was a lot of to and fro, a lot of discussion between us at various stages, and we were happy to just tell you the sort of thing we wanted and leave it to you to come up with the ideas. So that's okay. But there was a lot of to and fro, so I think things were well and truly discussed along the way. So I don't think there were any things that were really, oh, that's a big surprise.
When the building was built?
Yeah.
What is it like at night?
We don't use the central light very much.
Right.
We use the lights on the side,
Yeah.
and that's really good. It's plenty of light you can read by easily and do things with, but they work really well. And if you do want a brighter light in the room, the central one is good.
So the central one's sort of a supplementary light. It's a bit of a feature, isn't it, that central light?
Yes, well, we use it sometimes, occasionally. In fact, we used it when we had a lot of people around one night, so that worked really well, but we tend to use the side lights mostly.
Yeah.
So
That's time.
yeah, that's the end of the presentation as well.